Alright, first up is my absolute favorite, custom CSS functions. Let me show you by building a product card with consistent spacing. So first, I'll create a simple div with class card. Inside, let's add a heading for our product name, then a paragraph with some description, and finally a button. Now, at the very top of my CSS, I'm gonna define a custom function. Type add function, then 2 dashes, and we will call it spacing. This function takes one parameter called level. Inside, we will return a result using calc. Whatever level we pass in, multiply it by 8 pixels. Now for the card, I'll add padding, and instead of typing random pixel values, I just call our spacing function and pass in 3. That gives us 24 pixels because 3 times 8 is 24. For the button inside, same thing, padding top and bottom is spacing 2. Left and right is spacing 4. And that's it. Now every spacing value in my design follows the same system. If I want to change my spacing scale, I just change that one multiplication number from 8 to maybe 10 and my entire design updates. This one is pure magic. A progress bar that fills as you scroll, zero JavaScript. First, I'll create a div for the progress bar at the very top, then a content div with some text to scroll through. For scroll progress, I'll position it fixed at the top of the screen, make it 4 pixels tall, give it a nice gradient background, start with 0 width so it's invisible. Now I'll add an animation called grow progress with linear timing. This is the key part, animation timeline set to scroll. This ties the animation to page scrolling instead of time. Now I'll define what the animation actually does. At the start, width is 0, at the end width is 100%. And that's it. When you scroll down, the animation plays forward and the bar grows. Scroll back up, the animation reverses and the bar shrinks. The browser handles all the scroll calculations for you. This is huge for component-based design. Let me show you a widget that changes style based on its container. I'll create a sidebar div with a custom property theme set to dark. Inside, add a widget div with a heading and paragraph. Now I'll create a second container, main content, but this time theme is light, and inside the exact same widget code. For both containers, I'll give them a container name so we can reference them, and set container type to style so we can query their custom properties. Now I'll write a container query. If theme container has a style where theme equals dark, then the widget gets dark background, white text, dark border. And if the theme is light, white background, dark text, light border. Now the same widget component automatically adapts. Put it in a dark container, it goes dark. Put it in a light container, it goes light. The widget doesn't need to know where it is. It just responds to its environment. That's true component isolation. We have been stuck with ugly select dropdowns for years. Not anymore. Let's create a form group div, add a label and a select element with class custom select and some options. For custom select, the first thing we need is appearance set to base select. This unlocks all the styling. Now we can style it like any other element. Full width, padding 12 by 16, light gray border, rounded corners, white background. Now for the drop down arrow, we target the picker icon pseudo element. Set content to a down arrow character, make it bigger and add a smooth rotation transition. When the select is open, rotate the arrow 180 degrees so it points up. For individual options, add some padding. When an option is checked, give it a blue background and white text. And just like that, we have a beautiful custom select dropdown. Smooth arrow animation when you click, custom colors for selected option, everything you would normally need a library for. Now it's just built into CSS. Creating tooltips used to be a pain. Absolute positioning, z-index issues, manual calculations, not anymore. I'll create a div for our info section, add a button with class info button and give it an ID of help button. Then create a tooltip div with anchor attribute pointing to our button ID. For the button, I'll give it an anchor name with 2 dashes. We will call it help button. Style it up. Padding, blue background, white text, no border, rounded corners. Now for the tooltip, position is absolute and set position anchor to reference our button. Now here, bottom of tooltip connects to top of button using the anchor function. Left side aligns to the center of the button. Then translate it negative 50% on x-axis to center it and negative 8 pixels on y to add a gap. Style the tooltip, padding, dark background, white text, rounded corners. Start it invisible with opacity 0 and turn off pointer evens. When we hover the button, the tooltip fades in. The tooltip automatically stays connected to the button. Resize your browser, the tooltip follows. Scroll the page, it moves with the button. No manual calculations, no JavaScript measuring positions, the browser does it all for you. Text inputs that grow with your content. Built into CSS now. Create a form with class contact form, add a text input with class auto input, a text area with class auto text area, and a submit button. For both inputs, set field sizing to content. This is a key property. Set a minimum width of 200 pixels, max width 100%. Add padding, border, rounded corners. For text area specifically, set min height and turn off manual manual resize. Now when you type in the input, it grows wider with your text up to the max width. The text area expands vertically as you add more lines. No JavaScript calculating heights, no resize handles, it just works automatically. This fixes that annoying invisible space around text that ruins pixel-perfect designs. Create a hero div, add an image with class hero icon, add an h1 with class hero title. For the hero container, display flags to put items side by side, 16 pixel gap between items and 40 pixel padding. Set the icon size to 48 by 48 pixels. Now for the title, text box set to trim both cap alphabetic. Trim both removes space from top and bottom. Cap trims to capital letter height. Alphabetic trims to the text baseline. Make it 48 pixels. Bold, no margin. Now the text aligns perfectly with the icon. That invisible space above and below the text is gone. When you set align item center, the text actually centers with the icon instead of looking slightly off. This is huge for precise layouts. Last one, and this is the easiest dark mode implementation ever. Create a dashboard div, add a header with class dash header, add a card div with class dash card. For the dashboard, background uses the light dark function. First value is for light mode, second is for dark mode. Same for text color, dark text in light mode, light text in dark mode. Full height and padding. For the header, light gray background in light mode, darker gray in dark mode. For the card, white background in light mode, dark in dark mode. Border color adapts too. Even the shadow, lighter shadow in light mode, darker in dark mode. And that's it. The function automatically detects the user's system preference. If they have dark mode enabled on their device, it uses the second value. Light mode, first value. Change your system theme right now and watch it update instantly. No JavaScript, no theme toggle buttons, it just works. And there you have it. 10 CSS features that are changing the game in 2026. My personal favorite is custom functions because being able to build my own CSS tools feels incredibly powerful. Which one are you going to try first? Drop a comment below and let me know. If this helped you learn something new, hit that subscribe button for more web dev content. Thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next video.